Hey guys, what's going on? I'm coming to you with another Armada fleet build here using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder, and I'll put a link to this in the description. But today I want to talk about Rebel builds when you only have to buy a couple of expansions. So I'm only going to be using stuff from a few expansions, including the core set. So I won't be just pulling upgrades from here and there and everywhere. I'm going to try to go with specifically stuff using only a few purchases. I'm actually going to do two quick builds today. If you have seen my What to Buy First video, you've probably seen some, I talk about the Liberty and some other things, and but there's two different routes I talk about going in there. I say you could consider going with an Akbar build first, and that's what I want to talk about here. So, like, if you were to get a Home 1 that will come with Akbar and also the Home 1 title, and that's really good to support two other assault frigates. And if you do that, I will. I'm going to add two assault frigates in here, and now we can just add a CR-90, and a couple of X-wings, and we're approaching 400 points already. Now we already have the CR-90 from the core set. Wait, I don't want any more ships. I want X-wings, and then we'll look at a couple of upgrades as well. There we go. So X-wing, let's do 4 regular X-wings, and I think the Corvette A comes with Dodonna, or the core set comes with Dodonna's Pride. We could actually drop that to a Corvette B if we wanted to, or we could just add some titles over here. I think we could add gunnery teams to one of them. That's 398. That puts us pretty close. Or we could add, or we could drop an X-wing and give that same one enhanced armament and make that one the more powerful one. And and there we go. So we have our more powerful assault frigate, our less powerful assault frigate, and then our command cruiser. Now we could also go for the slightly more powerful MC-80, but I'm trying to keep the cost down. Let's say if we drop this to a Corvette B, and then give it the Dodonna's Pride title. It's 396. We still have a little bit of points. We can't quite fit Paragon in there, but we wouldn't want Paragon with this list. So there's one. But I want to talk about a different way in case you don't want to buy, because this is using 3 expansions, the Home 1 and then 2 assault frigates, and then everything else comes in the core set. But I want to talk I have had some suggestions to talk about squadrons a little bit more. So I'm going to say your first purchase. We are going to use some stuff from the core set. We'll do a CR-90A. And we're going to start with a Nebulon support refit. And I'm going to say if your first purchase was a Nebulon, perhaps, we're going to add one of each. So now you'll have 2 Nebulons, and we'll use one of each ship variant, and we're going to use both titles. So for our squadron version here, for our escort frigate, which has the better squadron value, we'll give them Yavaris, because you get these 2 titles with the Nebulon expansion. So Yavaris, and then on our regular one, we'll give him Salvation. Alright, and for his turbo laser upgrade, we'll go with XI-7s, which comes in there. It's not bad in him. There are better ones, but we don't want to have to go buy a whole Liberty just for a spinal armament or something like that. Okay, so now we've got 3 ships so far, and we're at 170 points, and I think we're going to add an assault frigate. So if you have 1 assault frigate, we'll do that. And this is going to be a kind of a squadron-based build. And for our commander, we're going to go with Dodonna. He comes in the core set. We'll put him on the assault frigate since it is the most defendable. And we'll also give him electronic countermeasures over here to help keep him alive, ensure he can use that brace. All right. Now we've got some and Adar Talon. And the idea here is Adar Talon. So we have 2 carriers and then 2 shooters. And well, this guy's the flanker, and this guy's the straightforward shooter. And then, so far we've only got 2 expansions right now. We've got the assault frigate and the Nebulon. And I'm going to say your third expansion might be a squadron pack. So I am going to start with Luke Skywalker from the core set. He's pretty strong, and we'll probably use a few X-wings as well. I'll start off with 3. This is everything from the core set, but let's add more. Let's add intel. So let's say your third expansion was whichever squadron pack you buy, you can modify stuff, but you want Janors, you want intel so your squadrons can move. So this would be from the Rogues and Villains pack. So we definitely want intel. Also, Jan can help brace all those other X-Wings and whoever is defending her. So that's important. And let's say if you did one more squadron pack, you could add some, I mean, because if you just had this one, you could also add some other stuff, but a lot of the other characters there have rogue and won't need to be activated by all the carriers we have here. So I could add Han Solo and Dash Rendar, for example, and that would be fine. But I am also going to say let's add a Rebel Fighters squadron pack, which will give us our A-Wings, B-Wings, and Y-Wings, and some more X-Wings as well. So I will add a regular Y-Wing, and I think 2 B-Wings if I can fit it. Will that fit? That's 395 right there. That's not bad. So that gives us 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squadrons, which is pretty strong. We only have 1 intel, but that should be okay if we fly it real clever and carefully. And now this is 395. Now we have a little bit of room here. Again, we could drop this to a B and give it to Donna's Pride if we wanted to go that route. That would probably work pretty well with General Dodonna, or we could consider Paragon here. We could definitely do that. Now with the Yavaris, there are upgrades you can give it to really maximize what it can do, but that would require cross-faction purchasing. So if you want to take this to the next level, if you buy an interdictor, you can, which is for Empire. So if you're playing both factions, or if you just trade for the cards, you can get Fighter Coordination Team and Flight Commander in the same pack. And now those will allow you to say, all right, Squadron, I'm going to wait till after I move, then I move up to 2 guys, and then hopefully now they're in range, and now I activate, and then they can all shoot twice. And that just gives you a lot more flexibility with this title. But since we don't have that right now, I'm actually relying on this build for the Assault Frigate to go first, and Adar Talon to trigger. And so basically I send Luke Skywalker up to engage, and then I trigger Adar Talon to reactivate Luke Skywalker. And then when the Yavaris activates, then we trigger Luke Skywalker again and effectively make Luke Skywalker shoot 3 times in 1 turn. And that's kind of what we want to do here. And it's a little risky to be able to do that because, well, you know, one of the things you want to do is that when you're activating the Assault Frigate, you want to move Jan up with Luke. So in case somebody tries to tie him up, he can ignore the other squadrons. But that's kind of it. And now as far as objectives, we want to consider fighter-friendly stuff, and we also want to consider crit and bomber-friendly stuff. So here, I hadn't really thought about these yet, so let's go down. Advanced gunnery, I don't think that's a good one for here. Blockade run's a new one. I want to go for the original one. Most wanted, I don't really want that here. Although it's not terrible, but it doesn't really give you the benefit for squadrons. So I think maybe Precision Strike would be a good one for the red, because we have bombers. We have quite a few bombers, as a matter of fact. Although this does work for non-bombers as well. Just it's nice that you get that many more. Fire lanes wouldn't be good. Hyperspace Assault or Fighter Ambush. I think Fighter Ambush is... Wait, this is one of the new ones, actually, so we don't want that. Fleet Ambush. No, Hyperspace Assault. Yeah, let's go with Hyperspace Assault. Fleet Ambush is different. That's for the ships. Hyperspace Assault is where your squadrons come in, right? Now up to 3 other squadrons, yes. Sometimes I get some of those mixed up. And I'm actually going to say Minefields for this one. And the reason is, if they get those crits, you have Dodonna as your commander. And if they land on an if they take a mine, then Dodonna will you'll be able to pick which crit they get. And so getting a Dodonna crit potentially on the very first turn of the game is pretty amazing. And there's still some points you can play around with some of this stuff. You can, maybe drop an X-wing, put another B-wing in, or there's all, or maybe drop a squadron or 2 and add some more upgrades. There's definitely a lot of options here, but this is just what I have going on. And then the more expansions you add, the more diversity you can get to this list. If you own an MC-30, you would definitely want to put the turbo laser reroute circuits on this Corvette. Or if you don't own an MC-30 and you've got one of the promos, just toss them, because these were a promo over the past couple of months. So there's that. But yeah, so just going over a couple of builds for the Rebels if you don't own that many expansions. And there's plenty more options out there. I just want to give you 2 quick ones. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe and click the little bell to get alerts when I publish something new. And let me know what you think, guys. Thank you so much again. And as always, have a wonderful day.